Welcome back. So, what's our next story, Sunil?
It's about Danny Patel. Danny, actually his full name is Dilip Kumar, the famous Indian actor, who is the ex-chairman of the Asian American Hotels Owners Association, which is the largest body in America of AHOA, who own more than 50% or operate 50% of the economy lodging in the United States. Danny has been selected as elected into the board of directors of Best Western International Inc., which is the world's largest international hotel chain.
Right.
And you know, Danny, I know him personally and I've known him for so many years. He's such a dynamic personality. He obviously, inherited from his parents and who moved from India, and he was actually raised in India, and he lived in Alabama till 1986. He's a Gujarati. And Danny has grown from position to position. He has developed his own bank. He works with other banks. He's always looking for ways, two things. One is help the Asian Indians in America, and two is obviously grow and develop the economy or business of the hotel area into India, which especially his focus is Gujarat, where he's very close with the current Chief Minister, Mr. Modi, Narendra Modi. He's very clearly mandated to do what he's supposed to do, but he says, look, I have been involved with several other Asian American hotel overseas associations, but my goal is to help the people, especially the Indian Americans in the US, who are starting out or struggling in the weak economy. He said he is aware of many hoteliers, particularly independent ones and some franchisees who are facing uphill battles right now to survive, and including securing sometimes loan because of the low equities with the way economy has turned around. So Danny's position will help many of our fellow Indians, and we should continue to track his performance as he goes forward. One of these days, let's bring him onto the show.
Definitely.
Moving on from the hotel to the entertainment industry, while we touched a few minutes ago on the disaster for the FDI into the retail sector in India, or at least a suspension of it for some time, the US entertainment companies are still looking very hopefully into India. In fact, there was a conference last week where top companies including the News Corporation, Apollo Global, DirecTV, Time Warner, Disney, Comcast, NBC, they all participated, and they are looking at this hugely lucrative market in India, which is essentially the cable industry and distribution platforms. They're primarily analog right now.
Right.
And they are looking to take it to the next level, which is the digitization, make it digital, because that will create a renaissance. In India right now, there are 103 million cable homes, and India is a house to 1.2 billion people.
Exactly. That's a big market right
so
there.
So it's a huge market, they understand, and when India opens up to something like that, these people are very interested to go invest in India and take the cable distribution system to the next level, which is a good sector, and it will again bring a lot of growth, just like what happened in the United States, because it developed the broadband digital infrastructure. If you remember, in North America, between 1998 and 2003, and very similar revolution took place in Korea between 2003 and 2007, and in Taiwan, which was 2005 and 2010, and who knows, US will be seeing the same revolution in India from 2012 onwards. That's what they're all counting on.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Interesting again because of the way India's entertainment sector is developing. That was the cable industry who is supporting through their infrastructure to all the huge television systems, entertainment systems. We have one of the first initiatives from America, an American comedy show, Make Chai Not War. What an interesting title.
Right. And they're actually touring India.
They have been selected by the State Department to tour India in the first week of January. They are going to be a 7-city tour, and they're on invitation from US Department of State. It's sort of a cultural exchange.
Right.
And these guys started first in Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., and 3 members, which is Rajiv Satyal, Azhar Usman, and Hari Kondabulu, and they'll be performing in Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Ranchi, and Patna from January 4th to January 9th. It's a good start for a new year for the people living in these parts of the country in India. And these guys were breaking the cultural barriers since 2007 in America. Nobody ever gave a chance that there'll be Indians performing in a stand-up comedy or comedy shows. Was never a given, you know.
Right.
We are mostly known for Bollywood and Kathaks. But here, these kids were performing in Arlington, Virginia, where they were doing sold-out performances, and State Department, some official noticed it. He thought it was a great idea to take this group to India and give it a tour.
Right.
And of course, there is a sensitivity to it because, you know, Bhavna, in this country, we are very liberal, and when you look at the stand-up comedy, they make fun of everything that comes under the roof.
Right.
Or
With
under the
Indians,
sky,
it's a
I should
little
say.
more restricted based on culture and religion.
And nuances built into it, and
Right.
they're very clear about it. In fact, Usman said that he and his colleagues are very sensitive to the cultural differences between US and India, and they'll be making sure that they don't break those, otherwise they'll be themselves in a trouble.
Right, because Usman is actually Muslim,
True.
correct? So
Regardless, in India, whether you're a Muslim, Hindu, Sikh, whatever it is, you need to maintain your barriers, you need to maintain, in fact, the
and
whole,
not offend.
if you really look at India, you look at the subcontinent, look at this Middle East, we are very culturally very protective and kind of very orthodox in a way.
Right.
So we don't need to be making fun beyond a point.
Exactly. Yeah.
On the same front, if you look at what happened with this girl, she's hit herself into a deep trouble, Veena Malik from Pakistan. And she, look, from what it shows on the India's, there is a men's magazine called FHM, and she has posed for its cover absolutely
Nude.
And of course, you know, she has used her arms to do whatever she needs to cover, but that's not enough because she comes from one of the most traditional protective countries in the world,
Right.
which is Pakistan.
Yeah, she's offended a lot of, you know, Muslims and people across the country, really.
And not only that, Bhavna, what she has done is she is, at least the picture, she has on her arm ISI, which is a symbol or the name, short form of the International
It's the spy agency of Pakistan.
Agency, which is completely not acceptable to the Pakistan, which is clearly you know, it's against the agency. They take it as a personal offense to them because nobody will make a second guess what is ISI.
Exactly.
And ISI is normally notoriously in the news every day. Last week we talked about Faye, who was representing ISI. Now US is against ISI because of their support to the terrorists in the border areas, and they are, as it is, very upset. In fact, it's so funny, Bhavna, this cover has got more hits on their website than the story about NATO attack and killing of 24 soldiers,
Wow.
or even the killing of Osama bin Laden news.
Wow.
So
That
it's so
tells you
tantalizing
something.
and so you know, wild. And now what has happened is Veena has taken a different position. She says, I never did it.
Right.
Now, look, the owners, the publishers of the magazine have video recordings of the actual shoot.
They have the full footage, and they also, you know, when Veena's suggesting that, you know, she was wearing some clothes for the shoot, the actual photographers are saying, you know, I mean, she was more liberal with how the shoot was supposed to go.
And here she
and
says,
they were trying to reel it back. So there's really a back and forth here. And who knows who's saying the truth, but in the end, I mean, the cover kind of speaks for itself. In
for
terms
now,
of
at least it's a big hit. The magazine is a big hit. And it has
Exactly.
served their purpose for now and
Yeah.
hurt. Actually, if you look at it, her father is very hurt, her family is very hurt. They really don't care whether it's yes or no, she did it or not did it, but at least on the face of it, she is in the front.
Right.
In fact, her father has disowned her. They completely, you know, dismembered her from the family and said goodbye to you. Celebrating, celebrations. This is, again, the whole month is all about celebrations.
holiday season.
And as usual, Indian Consulate reverberates with celebration month after month, whether it is Holi, whether it is Diwali, whether it is Eid or 15th August, and now Christmas. You know, this Consul General, Ambassador Prabhu Daya, let me tell you, Bhavna, you meet him, he is such a doll. He's such a wonderful man. I mean, the best thing he has done at the consulate, like we continue to say in last three and a half years, is he has opened the consulate, and true to the secular lines of the country, everything is celebrated. Last week was the celebration of the festivals, and now this week he celebrated the Christmas.
Right.
And some of the best kids, they performed there, and the highlight of the event was a 30-member, I personally went and attended it, chamber choir of the Hattricks High School and a group of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and who sang selected Christmas carols, which was absolutely stunning. Everybody in the audience enjoyed it. And they were so beautiful on the stage. The performances were great, and this was very nice celebration. I think Ambassador was very happy, and he said, you know, it reflects the secular traditions of India, and consulate is always putting the special effort to celebrate, whether, like I said, it's a Diwali, Holi, Baisakhi, Eid, or Christmas. And it's the grand finale, grand ending to the year, where the ambassador hosted the top community persons on the festival, and again comes next month. We'll be back on 26th January.
Great. All right. Well, with that, we are going to wish our viewers a happy holidays. And thank you, everyone, for watching Eye on South Asia. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. You can also catch us on YouTube, watch all your favorite episodes. I'm Bhavna Vannan. See you next week.
I'm Sunil Hali. You guys all have a great Christmas weekend and happy holidays. Keep watching us week after week on Eye on South Asia. Goodbye.